Let's bring in former Assistant Treasury Secretary and host of the Monica Crowley podcast, Monica Crowley. I got this from E.J. Antoni, that inflation has been trending toward 3% plus since June of 2022, and there is no evidence it's going back to 2%. Not with the Federal Reserve letting the money supply grow and the Treasury borrowing $2 trillion per year. So the American people know and understand what these bozos and people in Washington do not.
Yeah, exactly right. And their lived experience with the Biden economy every single day bears that out, right? I mean, it is costing so much more, about 18% more since Joe Biden took office, just to live your life. That is basic necessities of food and energy like gas and electricity. Rent is up nearly 20% as well. So there are staggering costs here to government policy and monetary policy that are very significant, that are really squeezing the most vulnerable people in the United States, namely the middle class, the working class, and the poor. Those are the same groups that Joe Biden and the Democrats profess to champion, and yet they're the ones getting squeezed and suffering the most. The wealthy can really ride out inflation at this level, but those who are working hard every day just to make ends meet cannot.
So, Monica, with the federal government continuing to spend money, with the consumer price index coming in at 3.1%, obviously the market today didn't feel so rosy about rate cuts. What say you? Do you think the Fed's going to continue to, or not continue, are they going to start to cut rates? Where do you think they go this year?
Well, you know, I think they were hopeful because, and again, we have to be clear, it wasn't that inflation was going in the opposite direction and literally coming down. It was just the rate of inflation was slowing. So prices were always climbing throughout the Biden presidency. It's just that over the last couple of months, the rate of price increases began to slow. So I think a lot of people were hopeful. Certainly the market was hopeful that we might see some rate cuts. Some prognosticators were talking about 6 rate cuts this year. I think that is off the table. So certainly we're not going to get any cuts for the foreseeable future. I don't know. People are talking about maybe May or June. I think inflation is running so hot and it's so deeply entrenched now that we can kiss rate cuts goodbye for at least, you know, maybe 6 months or so. And of course, that has big political implications for the election as well.
Moving on to politics, California Congresswoman out in the left coast, Barbara Lee, doubling down on calls to essentially bankrupt businesses across the country.
You're calling for a $50 an hour federal minimum wage. That's 7 times the current national minimum wage of $7.25 an hour.
$104,000 for a family of 1. Barely enough to get by, low income because of the affordability crisis. And so just do the math.
Yeah, let's do the math, Monica. Why don't you just make it $100,000 an hour? Or to quote John Cargan, let's just make it $1 million an hour. And based on this thinking, everybody's going to be rich.
Yeah, it's also arbitrary. And, you know, when she's out there talking about the affordability crisis requiring a bump up of the minimum wage in California, well, who created the affordability crisis? She did. Her party did. The president did. The president of her party created this crisis. 1.4% inflation when President Trump handed off this economy to Joe Biden. It has run above 3%, at least since the signing of the Orwellian titled Inflation Reduction Act in March of 2021. The Democrats, the left, created this crisis along with the Fed. And I mean, I got to tell you, every single GDP report that we get that shows growth of like 2%, 3%, 4%, and they're all out there celebrating that, that is almost all government spending. And I'll tell you guys something, you and I would grow if we pumped $8 trillion in 3 years into us.
We all have seen growth of government. Monica Crowley, always a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.